Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is a beautiful game with a difficulty that will turn most people off. So difficult, in fact, that somebody wrote an article about how it should include an easy mode. And there are two sides of this debate. Some people would like an easy mode to experience the game without the effort, and the other side is you got people saying, "Get good, scrub." And I'm kind of in the middle of this. I own Sekiro. I got it because it came with a cool samurai sword letter opener, and I actually wasn't aware that it came from Software, the creators of Dark Souls. And this game is in the same vein, and the hook is that it's difficult. It takes time to practice, to learn the techniques, and apply them effectively. And these games are a trial by fire. It's kind of like throwing a kid into the pool and expecting them to swim. I mean, sure, they'll learn, but they'll be also traumatized in the process. And I can learn to get good at these games, I just don't have the time or patience to do it. And in my opinion, a game like Sekiro that doesn't scale its difficulty isn't really worth my time to learn to get good at. I need some sort of win to keep my interest. If a game constantly beats me down after each go, I'm not really going to have incentive to play it further. That isn't to say that I demand developers tone it down. I mean, sure, it would be nice if there was a mode that allowed me to keep my XP and items after death and the enemies that I killed stayed dead, but I understand that kind of defeats the purpose of these whole games. I mean, Blunty used a trainer program to beat Sekiro, and there wasn't anything else in this game. When you build a game on difficulty and then remove it, you remove the whole reason why this game was made in the first place. And so video games have varying degrees of difficulty, and they have been since the dawn of time. There's a phrase, I'm sure you've heard of it, Nintendo hard, that gets tossed around whenever somebody complains about a difficult modern game. Back in my day, games were all hard, and that's how we liked it. Well, first of all, most of the NES hard games were ports of arcade games which were designed to be difficult to suck quarters. And other difficult games were either difficult because of hardware limitations or just poor game design. I mean, watch any episode of the Angry Video Game Nerd talk about those older games. Most of the time, they're frustrating because of some goofy design, like arching fireballs and insta-death bottomless pits. And second of all, you know what? There was easy modes on these games. Strategy guides and game genies, baby. How to win at NES games, how to win at Super Mario Bros. Nintendo Power had strategy guides included on 4 games with the subscription. That's an easy mode in my opinion. I mean, if you're stuck in a game in 2019 and you can't figure it out, it has never been easier to figure out what to do next. I do it all the time. Anytime that I need to figure out some puzzle and I get stuck, I just Google it. I mean, I really try to solve the puzzles and trials myself the first time, but sometimes I just need an extra help. And once it becomes obvious, I get more enjoyment out of the game. And if you really want to experience the game without any effort at all, Twitch allows you to watch somebody play the game, and then you can experience every nook and cranny without any of the frustration. Overall, difficulty is subjective. There are plenty of video games out there across several different genres. I struggle with RPGs, but I'm really good at platformers. Difficulty in video games is defined for me as the amount of time that it takes to become sufficient at the game. The longer it takes me to understand the basics of the game, the more difficult it is to me. And if you're the type of person who likes getting beat over the head over and over again, that's cool that game developers actually make games for you. I don't think that a game like that should be dumbed down to appeal to the masses, because there's plenty of games for the masses. Not all games should have an easy mode by default. Plenty of games have varying degrees of difficulty, and most of that boils down to how unfair the enemies are. The harder the game, the larger the hit points, the higher the damage, etc. And that's why I'm not against guides and software to enhance the experience of the game. If it's a single player, use cheats that give you unlimited health and ammo. I mean, who cares? With all these resources available, why does an easy mode need to exist? I mean, if you want to be entertained without the effort, there are other mediums of entertainment out there. And if you really want to experience the story of Sekiro but don't really want to get your butt kicked in, someone has probably uploaded all the cutscenes by now on YouTube. So let me know in the comments below, should easy modes be included by default, or are you okay with games that might be out of your skill set to enjoy properly? If you like this video, give it a like, and if you're new here, in addition to these commentaries, I have a series called Retronomics that focuses on the factors affecting prices in video games, and a viewer-voted review that allows you, the viewer, to choose what video game I review next. So if that's something that you're interested in, consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Super Nintendo, and I'll see you next time.